So what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. If you made it here, I don't know how you did that. I only got a little bit of time. I'm a little tired too, and I got work to do and other stuff. But I just wanted to make this real quick because MTR, I haven't reacted to his channel in a long time. To be honest, I don't really watch a lot of his videos anymore. But this one caught my attention. Michael B. Jordan breaks up with Lori Harvey for not being wife material, and just off the bat, I didn't like the fact his thumbnail. And I know this honestly, this video is clickbait. You feel me? Is definitely clickbait. He knew it would get views. It's just, this is a hot topic. You feel me? Especially something in the black community. You feel me? And his channel is about improving, or at least he be saying, like, talking about improving black community and black relationships and blah blah blah. But given his thumbnail, the image of him, how he looked crazy in it, smiling, almost like he's happy that it's happened. It's given I don't know. I don't know. It's given fake and phony to me, to be honest with you. But maybe he is, but he's running it. He runs YouTube like a business, so maybe that's just what he had to do to, he's trying to get the most clicks or whatever at the same time. But I just thought that was wild. Like, his thumbnail looked crazy, and it looked like he's happy that, you feel me, two black people aren't together, which is giving hater, you feel me, hater vibes, you feel me. But let's get into it.
Bitch,
Let's see
if
what
I
he
didn't
say.
tell y'all once, let me repeat and tell y'all again. You cannot turn a unmarriageable woman into a marriageable one. You cannot turn a her into a housewife. You cannot relinquish the streets if she still wants to go out and play in them. You cannot do that. I see far too many modern men.
Yeah, if she still wants to be in the streets, then she not for you. That's what it is. It's hard to change them. You might be able to for a little bit, but once again, it's just your turn. You feel me? What he's saying right here is factual.
Trying to turn modern women into something that they are not. You must look at the history. You must look at the decisions that they are making. You must look at the type of dudes that they choose to date. Because if you don't,
he's coming for Lori Harvey because she was with Future and Trey Songz and who else? There was someone else too, I believe. So he's coming for her, saying she was for the streets and because she chose those toxic people, or not necessarily, because Trey Songz is not necessarily, well, he has some allegations behind him and a lot of stuff. Apparently he be sleeping around like a motherfucker. But Trey's feel me, Future is like, people consider him the definition of toxic. So it's like, because she was with him, he's judging her based off that. Let's continue.
you're gonna end up like my man Michael B. Jordan. Now, in case that you haven't heard, Michael has recently split from Lori Harvey, reportedly because he couldn't get her on the same page. I saw this one coming. Let's get down into the article. TMZ reports Michael B. Jordan and Lori.
Saw this one coming, bro. They're famous celebrities, and a lot of celebrities don't last or make it even through the dating phase. So it's like, saw it coming. Who didn't? Come on now. Was there anyone who thought they was about to get married or whatever, or thought Michael B. Jordan was the one? Maybe after a little time, because they spent a lot of time together. But in the beginning, y'all would have said no too. You feel me? Because she was with what? She was with Future. She was with Trey Songz. Ain't none of us think she was settling down with them. Why would you think she's settling down with Michael B. Jordan? Yeah, they were together for a longer period of time, but hey man, if that swayed your opinion, then it is what it is. But let's continue.
Harvey, Splitsville. Michael B. Jordan wanted long-term relationship. Oh, did you, Michael? That's why this part of the internet is so important. Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey are no
That's why this part, what, the red pill? Is that what you talking about?
more. The couple reportedly broke up, and the early indication is that it might have been her who wasn't on the same page for their future. According to People magazine, them two have ventured into Splitsville. This after more than a year together and power coupling all over Hollywood. There goes that power couple bullshit. Unclear when they might have gone their separate ways, but neither has posted a photo with the other for months. All right, we got some photos and some video. Okay, whatever. Let's go down up in it. Now, as far as the reasoning behind the reported uncoupling, people citing a source familiar says Michael apparently wanted to get even more serious with Lori than they already were. That means to me that he wanted to get married, as he was apparently seeking to go the distance in a long-term relationship. Marriage? Yeah, that's what it sounds like. There's no clarification or pushback from Lori's perspective, who seems to suggest she just didn't necessarily want the same thing as him. One thing they both reportedly feel, though, heartbroken and continue love for one another, at least according to the outlet. Whatever. Let me tell you guys what's actually going on. One of the greatest issues that
Honestly, it's none of our business, to be completely honest. We shouldn't even care, to be completely honest. But let's continue and see what he has to say about this. You feel me?
us as men have is just succumbing to women because we're so damn visual and we're willing to believe anything that they're willing to say as long as they look so goddamn good while saying.
He's just making a whole bunch of baseless, you feel me, claims, and his own, based on his own opinions and what he thinks. You feel me? Baseless. It's like it's none of your opinion, nor do you actually know what's going on. You're just stating opinions. But let's continue to see what he has to say. Once again, I don't even think people should be speaking on it, to be honest. It's none of your business. But people like drama and people like gossip and people like to get views, and so they,
saying it. In other words, sex sells. And I think as men, it's clear that we sometimes ignore the red flags or the writing on the wall because we just want that thing over there so damn much. But in conjunction of all of this happening, you have someone who seems to move from valuable dude to valuable dude. Like, I mean, as far as rap goes, what's above Future, right? As far as black entertaining goes, what man is above Michael B. Jordan? She's had them and she's had them all. And irrespective of all that information regarding her past, valuable men, especially men caught up in the traditional mindset of a Disney fantasy, fall victim to the beauty, fall victim to ignoring the red flags. But here's the question that I have to ask you guys. If high status, high value men cannot get these 10s, these 9s to settle down, what do you think that means for you? If Michael B. Jordan can't get these women to act right, what makes you think that?
I mean, okay, what he's saying here is not necessarily not true, but then once again, he's still putting a lot of opinions into what exactly happened. But yeah, what he's saying here isn't necessarily not true, but it's still his own, you feel, opinions and whatnot. Once again, we don't know what happened between a relationship, and just because Michael B. Jordan couldn't get her to settle down, it could just be that she don't want to settle down. It don't mean that it don't mean that there's a guy out there that she wouldn't settle down for, and it also could be wrong place, wrong time. She's just not ready right now. You feel me? So yeah, that's just what it is. Michael B. Jordan just wasn't the one, and that happens to a lot of men. You just aren't him. You feel me? You're not him. You're not him. That's what it is. You feel me? If you were him, you would have got it. And most of y'all would be like, "Oh, the bad guy," the the future nigga, the toxic nigga is him. He's the one who she would settle, but she didn't settle down for him. Maybe she wants to settle down for him. Who knows? We wouldn't know that. You could put your own opinion in there and probably say, oh, maybe she's gonna go back to him, but we don't know that. We don't know that, and that's just baseless assumptions. At the end of the day, people are gonna do what they want. If they want something, they're gonna go for it. She didn't want that, and if that's the case, then that's what happened. Once again, we still don't know because this is just a rumor. So, but people are gonna talk. You know what I mean?
That you can. This is like for the most part, I'm pretty much done with dating in America. I'm about to go get my passport stamped the hell up, get the hell up out of here to much more simpler places.
Yeah, he's gonna go and then the same shit's gonna happen to him. That's my pity. You feel me? Or something wild is gonna happen. He's not gonna have a fulfilling life, if anything, because running from your problems is not gonna solve your problems. And that's basically what that's what he's doing right here. He's just running from his problems. He can't find it. He can't find what he wants here, or he assumes that he can't find what he wants here, so he's running away instead of actually trying to search and find what he wants here. You feel me? Which is honestly, in my personal opinion, if you can't find a woman here, it's probably you. It's probably you. It's probably you, because not every single woman has damaged beyond repair and can't, you feel me, you can't work with them. If you can't work with every woman who you come across in terms of a relationship, it's probably you. There's probably something wrong with you. Probably something in here that you need to fix. But once again, that's just my opinions. I don't necessarily know. Once again, take everything I say with a grain of salt, which is something that some of these YouTubers should say, or everyone in my personal opinion should say. You should take a lot of what they say with a grain of salt, because most of the things that come out of people's mouths are not facts. It's just opinions from, their perspective. But a lot of people fail to look outside of their perspective, which is a lot of what this guy does. He stays to this one. He doesn't. He puts on this false pretense that he's looking objectively and he doesn't have bias, but he very much has bias from past trauma, which he's talked about on the channel, which I believe still affects him to this day. I'm not gonna lie to you, because the fact he believes what he says is facts, but it's based off of his trauma, and it's based off of the trauma that he constantly watches. Why don't you throw up anything good? You feel me? Maybe you have good in your Discord, but you don't be speaking about it on your YouTube channel. Why don't you do that? You feel me? If you're successfully matching people, or whatever Kevin Samuels was doing, right? He said he was successfully matching people. People were finding relationships. Why don't you talk about that instead of talking? Is it because the negative sells? That's why you want to show the negative all over your channel? Is that why? At least tell us and let us know what's really going on. You feel me? At least I think that would be a good video to let your fans know. But you feel me? Then maybe your views would go down. And you feel me? It's about the money. And let me know. Is it really about the money? Is that what it is it the business? You feel me? I feel like a lot of YouTubers aren't truthful to their audience. You feel me? The lack of honesty is disgusting to me on YouTube. But that's just me personally. I feel like that's why I don't cut or do any edits. I show you how the real shit, because you feel me, this is real. You feel me? Without the edits and all of that nonsense. I'm talking fast because I want to I got a lot to say, and the videos, I don't want the videos to be too long. But let's continue.
Right, where there's not like media such as Cosmopolitan, or right, like political movements such as feminism, which continues to delude or cloud the reality that these modern day women sit in, so they can dwell in this idea of delusion, or this idea of hopping from stick to stick, or hopping from carousel to carousel, is by some means a stretch of the imagination valuable to them. But Cosmo, feminism, daytime talk shows, you guys have created absolute monsters. You guys have created the modern woman today. But
avoid those monsters. You can spot them. You feel me? You could spot the monsters. Sometimes they might be a little bit harder to spot, but avoid them. Simple as that. There may be many of them. Avoid them. Simple as that.
But not even just that, but then those in Hollywood or Hollyweird who put women up on a pedestal exemplify all of these modern woman behaviors and characteristics. These are your influencers. These are the examples for the young women today who are trying to come up with, well, how is it that I should lead myself while I'm dating in my 20s? Back in the day, we used to have mothers and grandmothers kind of teaching these things of how to treat men, skill sets that they should learn in order to become of marriageable material. But
now it's celebrities, but that's media though. It's not, you feel me? But even back then, I feel like there probably were some people who were put on pedestals that probably shouldn't have been. But you feel me? Your guys is today. You feel me? You don't know what was going on in the past for real. You don't know the debauchery that was probably happening in the past. You don't realize it because you didn't live in that time period. The debauchery in the past was probably, I wouldn't say worse, but it was up there. You feel me? There was little boys being molested and raped on a regular. But and then there were probably role models for girls, probably not famous like this, but literal prostitutes. And Lori Harvey is not that. She's not a prostitute. So once again, she's still a better role model than some of the figures that you probably could have had in the past. But what I will say is that, you feel me, your thought process is almost like forcing marriage on someone, which is not a good thought process. Because what you wanted to see a successful relationship out of a relationship that you know nothing about. You feel me? It's just is a once again, if you look at it through that perspective, your thought process is kind of delusional. Because you're saying she set a bad example for girls, but what you're saying at the same time could also mean that if someone is in a relationship that's not fulfilling for them, they should stay regardless because you should want marriage. And then that's when you get into the problem of you get married to someone who you end up not liking or not wanting to be with in the future, and then y'all get divorced, which is not what we want, right? So,
But now we got hot girl summer. We got the city girls that we can blast, and we got Megan and we got Cardi B talking about I don't cook and I don't clean. So of course, a 35-year-old Michael B. Jordan and a 25 hot Lori Harvey is going to pose problems for that man that sits
a
with.
lot of women probably find problems with that just off of itself. The fact that he's 35 and she's 25, they probably didn't even want this to. A lot of women would probably say this relationship shouldn't even have happened. The way I hear some people talking on social media, and as a guy, guys probably don't even really care that much, but women do for whatever reason. Does age matter? I believe it does, but to a certain extent. Like once you're 25, if you with a 35-year-old, that's your choice. It's not like he tricked you or blah blah. Maybe he did. He could have manipulated you because anyone can manipulate anyone. It don't matter your age for real, to be honest with you. But once you're 25, that's your choice. Like you're 25 years old. That's you're a grown adult. You're fully functional, fully developed. By 25, you're fully developed. You feel me? Fully developed human being. No one's really tricking you. And if they did, it's because your lack of judgment.
Within his blue pill Disney fantasy of power couple and all of the bullshit. But yeah, these are your influencers, some of the hottest women in the industry. You got Lori Harvey just going from stick to stick. You got Sierra twerking and shit up on her Instagram with all of her modern woman girlfriends after having 3 kids and being currently married. I'll be for goddamn if I become a woman's pension plan and she rewards me by posting her twerking ass up on Instagram for the whole goddamn world to see. But see, that's just the softness of society that we live in today. One that tells women to be as free as a bird. And listen, any man that tells you, hey, listen, I don't like that, what you're posting and the things that you're talking about on social media, he's trying to control you. As if the characteristics necessary to be a marriageable woman doesn't require discipline or doesn't require boundaries. But
I mean, boundaries is based on you. It's once again, it all falls back on the man. Like that's up to you. It's what you want. You chose this person, so it's like if you choose wrong, that's your fault. It's not her fault. At the end of the day, there's accountability for a woman if she fucks up. Yes, but you feel me? If she's twerking on Instagram, you knew what you signed up for. Is she doing this and doing that? If she not listening to you, if she don't respect you, that's your fault. You can't sit here and throw that on the woman like it's her fault. Most of that is y'all fault. Like, yes, social media has warped their minds, but you feel me? If you get with someone like that, that's your fault.
The current state of the modern women today of what we live in. And the thing is that my normal ass, I'm taking a look and seeing all the shit. I'm just like, what's the point? What's the rush? Because look at what it is at the end of the day. And the crazy shit is
what you're looking at, bro. Is what you're looking at. You're living in the same like deluded fantasy as like celebrities, how they only choose these certain specific women. They all date the same woman over and over again. And because you're looking at that, bro, what are the women that you're around? Don't you have women, empowered women and women who are in successful relationships and doing well, but you're talking about all this negativity? I bet you know a lot of people who are in successful relationships, but you're promoting this negativity because it's good for your channel, isn't it? That's what it really is.
Is that I know that it's not just me. Here's my prediction going into the future. You're going to see a lot more me's happening into the future. What do I mean by that? Mid to late 30s, no kids, great job, and not married, because a lot of us are just taking a rational look at what we are presented with in the culture that is.
So you're telling me you wouldn't get married to a woman who is right for you, who's doing all the things you want, who's listening to you, or you feel me? You wouldn't get married? You still wouldn't get married if she checks all your boxes?
Presented to us and making, again, a rational decision to choose to fall back. But until then,
There's no problem with
I'm
falling
gonna get my
back.
passport stamped. Question.
There's no problem with falling back, but I mean, there's a possibility that the girl who you think, you know, is riding with you, and then you don't marry her, and now she end up with someone else because you didn't marry her, because she, you know, she felt like she was wife material and she was doing everything, but she wanted marriage and you couldn't give that to her. I mean, of course, then you could say she's not for you and you could go find someone else. But what if she checks all your boxes? That's gonna hurt. Is it not? It's probably gonna hurt. So just keep that in mind, you know.
Just comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews at gmail.com. Last but not least, guys, I got a Patreon. Patreon is